Kegels, queen. You kegel.
Hold it in till your mother gets home. That sounds homophobic. Oh, my friend's voice is too gay.
Yes, my offspring has survived long enough to bear fruit of her own loins. This being carries eggs now that are fertilizable. It's weird. Like, why would you want to involve public people to that? Wicked is like Die Hard.
I'm not homophobic, but his voice is just too gay now. You're through to 1-800-DRAMA.
The show where you share your biggest dilemmas.
And we help you navigate them.
I'm Shaaba.
And I'm Jamie.
Come join us as we help people figure out if they are the drama.
Because sometimes you just need an outside perspective.
And we can all expand our own mindsets along the way.
Wait, am I the drama? Red flag, green flag, Shaaba. Yeah. And this is from a lovely peach, Courtney.
Thank you, Courtney.
Not wanting to update your social media relationship status when in a relationship.
Is that still a thing? Like,
yeah.
Do you have relationship statuses on socials?
Don't know. I actually have no idea. I don't think I have it public.
No, wait. On my Facebook profile, I'm pretty sure I changed myself to married
I did.
when we got married.
Yeah, me too. So how would you feel if you were in like a committed relationship with somebody and they actively showed up as single?
I just think there's bigger things to worry about.
I do think it's a bit of a beige flag though.
What do you mean? Beige as in it could be bad?
Yeah,
if
like,
you've like
you can't.
consciously thought about it and you're like, I'm choosing not to mark myself. I guess the question is why?
Yeah, why?
Yeah. You're still trying to fish. You're trying to like peruse the menu even though you have been taken off of it because that would not be okay.
Yeah.
But if you've just forgotten, I mean, is it literally just Facebook that does that?
I think so.
I've just got in my head the people, slight call out. I'm sure some peaches will be like this too. I'm doing it in a funny, shady way of the people who put like their wedding dates in their bios.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a red flag. It's a flag of a colour.
Yeah, if I see like wifey and then a date, I'm just like...
What's the drama, Jamie? What's going on?
I have become very obsessed with Fortnite.
You have?
Yeah.
And I've become very obsessed with, can you guess?
Oh, Wicked.
Yeah. Why? Because I knew you. I love it. I'm still not over it. Hopefully, by the time this goes out, we have our Christmas tree up. I'm just like lapping it all up, all of the like good festive vibes, you know? I'm feeling healing.
How did you go from Wicked to Christmas?
Do you not find Wicked is Christmassy?
No.
I just feel like Wicked has a Christmassy vibe.
No.
Wicked totally has a Christmassy vibe. No. It's like Die Hard. Wicked is like Die Hard.
Is this you starting a petition for Wicked to be a Christmas movie?
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening right now. It is, Jamie.
That is you being the drama.
I disagree, but comment below and let me know what team you're on. I think it's because we went to the first one in November, right?
Yeah,
and so like it's just like
comes out in November.
Right, it's just like unanimously stuck to me. It was cold and we were waiting and it was all like magical and Christmas is magic. And it's basically green and red. Wicked is Christmas. I will not have it any other way.
Okay.
What's your drama?
Just Fortnite.
Just Fortnite. Yeah. I feel like we're giving off very cishet vibes.
I mean,
right
I
now.
like Wicked too.
All right, Jamie, you ready to go fishing for
Drama.
us? Let's go.
Woo.
Drama.
Am I the drama, Shaaba?
Always.
For putting a stop to my 12-year-old daughter's period party. What is a period party?
I never had a period party, but I'm trying to think. I feel like there are cultures that do this. Is this what a bat mitzvah is? Is that based on age?
Yeah.
I feel like a friend of mine who may have been Hindu had a period party. Is that a thing?
It just makes me think of like chickenpox parties where you take your kid to catch the
Except
chickenpox.
periods are not contagious.
Yeah.
Could you imagine everybody just needs sanitary towels?
Yeah. In your gift bag as a tampon.
I feel like it's more like this mark of womanhood. Definitely in my culture, it was this big thing. It was this big like moment, but I didn't have a party.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what a period party would entail.
Also, is 12 the average age of a period?
Yeah, I feel like it's reasonable.
There's that like quite smack bang
I
in the middle.
feel like, yeah.
And when's a bat mitzvah?
13.
So it's all like the same thing, right?
I don't know.
I don't think it's particularly weird, but I feel like if someone who doesn't want it? Does a kid not want it? Let's see.
I don't think
the woman.
I just want to know what the cake looks like.
I say the woman because it's daughters, by the way, but this is a good time to point out that not every woman has a period, and not everybody who has a period is a woman.
Precisely.
All right, let's see if we can help this OP out.
Right.
Let me set the stage. My wife and I'm a 43-year-old man, she's a 42-year-old woman,
Right.
have two daughters who are 7 years apart. There's a
Right.
19-year-old who was at college in a different state when this happened.
Okie dokie.
Cool. The girls are very different, says OP. The 19-year-old is outgoing, she's even extroverted, she loves meeting new people, trying new things like that. But the 12-year-old is shy, a homebody. Jamie's like, tick, yes, this is me. Finds things that she's comfortable with and sticks with them. In fairness, the 19-year-old was kind of like this until she was 16 or so. Maybe it's genetic.
Maybe it's genetic. Is that supposed to be a laughing face, the X and the D? It's been a long time since I saw somebody do that.
I think I last did that when I was my period party age. What do we think about this? Do you think it's an age thing? I think it can be an age thing that you come into your own.
I think so, but I also think people can just be different.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Introverts for the win, extroverts for the win, ambiverts for the win.
Yeah.
OP continues. A couple of months ago, my 12-year-old comes to me in my home office, obviously upset. She stammers a bit and then manages to tell me that she's got her first period.
Aww, a baby.
It is a cute moment. See, it deserves like a, I'm not sure if like a party. Different strokes for different folks.
Period.
You know? I play the supportive dad, comfort her and get her a box of sanitary pads that my wife had bought earlier in the year, guessing this was going to happen sooner or later, and I go over the instructions with her.
Okay, this is really sweet. I'm loving seeing this like healthy dynamic between a dad and his daughter and him not being all like gross, so like brownie badge.
Yes, dad.
However, like I play the supportive dad. No, you're just being a supportive dad. I find that weird phrasing. Or is that just me?
No, I think you're reading too much into it. I love it. I think it's so sweet. I find it very interesting that with the gender roles that we have in our society, daughter's gone to dad.
Yeah.
You'd expect daughter to go to mum. Dad continues. She goes into her bathroom and she does what she has to do. She thanks me for my help. I get her some ice cream and Midol. What is Midol?
I'm assuming it's a painkiller.
Can we find out?
A few moments later.
Oh, specifically for menstrual cramps. That's cute. Do we have that in the UK?
No, I've never heard of it.
Oh, it might be under a different name, but that's cool. And I told her there was nothing to be embarrassed about and she could always come to me for anything. This
Very
is such
cute.
like good egg parenting,
Yes.
right? My soul is restored. I feel like I've got band-aids in armor.
In your boob?
Yes, in my boobs. Band-aids as armor because like nothing bad has happened yet, so they're just guarding me for when the inevitable wounds come. Wife gets home later that day. The 12-year-old tells her what happened and the wife starts crying. Oh, my little girl is growing up, etc., etc. And then asks who should be invited to the period party. Here we go.
Okay.
Which I only knew of from listening to Bert Kreischer. If they were a thing when our 19-year-old started, she had never asked for one.
Right.
I don't know who this Bert person is.
Me neither.
The 12-year-old immediately closes off. She says that she doesn't want a pee-pee.
She doesn't want a pee-pee.
No pee-pee.
But she does want a poo-poo.
And the pee-pee and the pee-pee and the poo-poo.
And she doesn't want anyone to know. The wife tries to talk to her some more, but the 12-year-old ignores her and goes to her room. Okay, my wife tries to enlist my aid in changing her mind, but I tell her she said she doesn't want one. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, fair.
That's the right thing to do.
Yeah,
she doesn't want one.
What if your kid is like, yeah, I just don't want a big birthday party, I just want a couple friends over, and then you throw them a birthday party with all of their school year. Like, that's not what they want, that's what you want.
I'm trying to dissect right now the feelings I have about like the period being cute, because in some ways I get it. Even when we heard it, we're like, oh yay, you know, like big moment for the dad. We get it.
Going to the dad, not the fact that she got her period.
Well, yeah, but it's a cute moment, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a sweet milestone. It didn't feel weird to be like, oh yes, this family is doing something. Look at this rite of passage. Dad giving the first period ice cream, like that sort of thing. It's really cute, right?
Yeah.
But then, like, should it be? Maybe I'm overthinking it, but then I'm like, this occurs because we are now technically celebrating someone being of procreation age, which is a bit weird.
I think it's just a milestone. I do think you are overthinking it a little bit.
Yeah, I reckon so. But definitely, regardless of whether it is weird or not, if your daughter doesn't want a party, your daughter doesn't want a party.
Yeah, I'm just taking it out of the context of having anything to do with periods and just being like, if your kid doesn't want, why would you do that? Save your money.
But maybe that's why I'm thinking about it, because I'm like, well, why is mum seeing it as such a thing that she needs to involve other people and exclaim to the world? You know, it's more than just that person becoming a grown-up. It's then like, are you saying like, oh, look, this being carries eggs now that are fertilizable? It's weird. Like, why would you want to involve public people to that? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get if it's like a cultural thing, but it doesn't seem like for this family it is, because the 19-year-old didn't have one.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like it's just something the wife has heard that some people have
She's
done.
seen it on Instagram, like the fancy gender reveals, and was like, next kid, we could do that.
Yeah.
My Pinterest board is already.
We're going to have red fireworks.
Red velvet cake.
Oh, yeah. Everybody wears red.
Yes, sanitary towel, hairbands, doodle boppers.
Tampon doodle boppers.
That would be cute. Little moon cups on the end.
Oh, and then it's like, you know, the egg and spoon race, but it's just a spoon of red food dye. You can't spill it.
I want a period party now. Opie continues. 2 days later, I get home from running errands, and before I can even make it to the stairs, my 12-year-old runs up to me and asks if she can do her homework in my office.
Right.
I'm confused, but I say sure, and she bolts upstairs.
Sure, Jan.
Sure, Jan. At this point, I started to suspect what was going on, and I walked into the living room to find that my wife had not only decorated it like something which wouldn't have looked out of place on My Super Sweet 16, which I imagine is like
It's a really
TV show.
American TV show.
But there were several family friends, all women, and a few that I recognised as neighbourhood mothers.
Oh, God.
I beckon my wife into the hall. She asks where the 12-year-old is, and I tell her that she wanted to do her homework in my office. She rolls her eyes and she starts to move past me, but I step in front of her. Oh, there's some roleplay. Do you want to play the dad and I'll play the mum?
Okay. What are you doing?
Going to get the 12-year-old. It's her party.
She told you specifically she didn't want one of these.
Oh, well, she didn't mean that. This is an important time for a girl. She needs to know not to be ashamed of her body.
She's not. I already explained things to her. She just doesn't want to talk about it more.
I don't expect you to understand. This is just for us women. It's such a weird thing for me to be saying to you in particular. Just for us women, Jamie. Just for us women.
She's a woman.
She's a mammal. She actually tried to push past me, but I stepped into the doorway and completely blocked her. What is wrong with you, says the wife.
What's wrong with you? You know how shy 12-year-old is. You knew she didn't want to do something like this and you did it anyway.
I have to say, so this has happened
Oh, you're out of role.
Yeah, this is Shaaba, not weird mum. This is 2 days, right?
Yeah.
Since the announcement. That's a quick time to throw together a party.
Yeah.
Who's there? I'm
The neighbourhood mum.
The neighbourhood mum. Why? Like, it's not even her friends.
Period.
Which is probably a good thing that it's not her
Yeah.
friends. But I just find this a bit bizarre. Like, are you doing it for yourself,
Oh,
mum?
100%.
But then, like, what is the purpose? Is it to be like, yes, my offspring has survived long enough to bear fruit of her own loins? Or is it to celebrate the kid? I don't get it. Because if that's the case and you're inviting your mum friends, why does she need to be there?
Yeah, I think this mum just wanted to feel special.
Her to feel special or her kid to feel special?
The mum to feel special.
Oh. Also, not being funny, like when you first start your period, you're bloody hormonal. What stupid mother is planning a party like this when you're on your first period?
Yeah.
Doesn't that just sound like really dumb?
Yeah, entirely.
Anyway, let's continue the roleplay.
Go on.
Getting into character. I told you, it's for her own good. We can't let her grow up with a negative attitude towards something so natural.
Your mum character's had about 4 different accents at this point. And we're not. I told you. She knows what's going on. She's getting a handle on it. She just doesn't want to talk about it with anyone else for right now.
Fair. I'm so confused as to why the mum is still pushing. And I'm so confused as to the layout of your house because surely everyone can hear this conversation.
Also, the mum is so like honed in on, I don't want her to be ashamed. I just want her to talk about it. And the dad's like,
But
she
she's
is.
not.
Like, she's not ashamed. She is talking about
She's
it.
kind of just ashamed of you right now.
She just doesn't want to have a party with your mum friends.
It's a bit bizarre.
Yeah.
That's why I'm just so confused. Wife says, well, it wasn't your business to tell her about it anyway.
What?
As in the period.
Oh, you were at work. Was I supposed to ignore her for 4 hours until you got home?
Can you imagine? Father, I've started my period. Stay. Clench. Kegels. Queen. You kegel.
Hold it in till your mother gets home.
You could have called me. I would have come home.
It still would have taken you an hour. She was upset. I knew what was going on. I talked her through it.
That's also funny, the idea that like a wife would go to her manager and be like, sorry, I need to leave. Why? Car crash? Is your partner going to birth? First period.
It's just so weird.
Oh, wow.
And also, like, what cis-het normative dangerous stereotypes is this woman enforcing that she's like, you are the dad, you do not talk about that? Does she also, like, berate him if he cries?
Yes.
Jesus. It sounds like
She
it.
throws him a party too.
No, Diddums' first cry.
Now tell him to never do it again.
Daddy's first vasectomy. This lady's social calendar must be electric.
Mummy and Daddy's divorce.
There are actually divorce parties. Divorce cakes are a massive business right now.
Oh, I totally get
I'm
that.
so
If people,
here for it.
Yeah, I just imagined her throwing a party for both of them.
Mummy and Daddy's first couples therapy.
Yeah.
Right. Wife continues, you don't know anything about it. It's never happened to you.
Does that mean that if the daughter broke her ankle, oh, Mummy can't deal with this, let Mummy call the doctor, I'm not talking to you about this, I've never broken my ankle. Like, we can all empathise and help people through something, even if we haven't specifically experienced it. He's been married to a woman who menstruates. He's had 2 daughters. I'm sure he understands the gist of it.
You're so right. There is another child who has
Yeah.
literally gone through all of this. So this point is like particularly bizarre. But also, what about a parent with 2 dads?
Yeah.
What about a cis-het couple where the wife has had cancer or for whatever reason, PCOS, is on the pill for
Just hasn't
endo for whatever
experienced
reason,
periods.
or experiences periods vastly differently.
Yeah.
Like no one journey is the same.
And what about a single dad?
This wife is an idiot. Yes, what about singles dads? Of course. Aye. At this point, I gave up. I point out to my wife, no, I've never had a period, but I've had 3 older sisters and a living girlfriend before my wife and I met. Plus, we we've been married for almost 21 years. I'm pretty well versed. She again tries to move past me, but I don't move. Is
So
he like
this-
sumo wrestling on the staircase?
No, 12-year-old doesn't want this. I'm not letting you make her do it.
Fine, have it your way. Toss, toss.
Toss, toss.
She goes back into the living room and she tells the other ladies that the pee-pee is off because I'm being a jackass. Whoa. I lose it. I follow her in and I let the women know calmly but in no uncertain terms that I appreciate what they wanted to do, but the 12-year-old made it explicitly clear that she didn't want this party and my wife is trying to pressure her into it. Several of the moms frown at her. Yes, Dad.
Drop her in the doo-doo at the pee-pee party.
My wife starts to backpedal, talking about how she didn't think that the 12-year-old was being serious, but I ignore her and I begin taking down the decorations. I love this. I love this so much. I feel like every move that Dad has made is a right move. He's been like, no, I'm not going to pay attention. Then he was like, no, I'm going to not take your bullshit. I'm going to tell people calmly, but without inflaming the situation exactly how it is, because his name was being dragged. Then she's like lying, and instead of being like, no, that's not the case, and having a domestic in front of these people, he's like, no, I'm just going to take it down. This is emotional maturity that I aspire to have big time.
I'm so baffled and angry at the fact that in this like cishet couple, this dude treated his daughter with such respect and maturity and did exactly what he should do in the situation where his kid comes to him and is like, I've started my period. Because do you know how many dudes would be like, talk to your mother or talk to your older sister? I'm
No
not dealing with
wonder
that.
she came to him
Yeah.
and not the mum. It's probably not just because mum was at work.
Yeah, because there are telephones.
Everyone clears out shortly, and once the coast is clear, the 12-year-old came back downstairs. My wife gave her a half-assed, in my opinion, apology, again saying that she didn't think that the 12-year-old was serious, but the 12-year-old also ignores her and just starts doing her homework in her usual place at the table. My wife was pissed at me for a week, claiming that I undermined her authority as a parent, apparently by not helping her force our daughter into doing something that she didn't want to do, and that I made her look bad in front of the neighbourhood mums.
That's what she really cares about.
By telling them that she'd been doing this against our daughter's wishes. So am I the drama? I mean, you're not the liar. That's the point, right? Your wife is the drama here massively. You are absolutely not the drama.
No.
And if the wife is having a go at you because she lied about it and you didn't want to like partake in the facade, you
She's
need
only
to
got
put her in the
herself
bin.
to be mad at.
Right,
Yeah.
right. To be doubling down. Like, what was she going to do? Go upstairs, grab the 12-year-old by the ear and be like, come, newly bleeding woman, to your party.
I'm really triggered right now. I don't like this role play.
It's just very bizarre. What was she
It's
going to do?
really-
Like, force her to come to a party with neighbourhood mums?
It gives me very like, and I'm not saying this about this mum because we need to not throw like labels around, but it's giving me very like classic like narcissistic mother vibes. I'm not saying she is, but when you read about cases, this is the exact kind of behavior people can enact. And I'm just like, this is the type of thing it's really important for people like the dad to shut down the behavior of.
It's interesting that you went there. My head didn't go there. I absolutely see your point.
This feels entirely self-serving to the mother.
Yes,
and
I do
nothing
see this.
about her daughter.
1,000,000%. For me, everyone paints pictures, right? Like the picture that was in my head were those parents that have so much time on their hands that they over coddle, they over smother kids. You know, like the cotton ball parents that we hear of who at every birthday cry cut their glasses and write notes on their hangers and wear matching pajamas. And it's just like, dude, I get it. It's cute like once in a blue moon, but you need to stop this overconsumption, number one, and take up knitting.
You don't
because-
need new Grinch pajamas every year.
because it's just too much. You're
Yeah.
right. It's like it's misplaced intention and it's doing it for the wrong reasons. It's you're doing it for your Instagram feed or you're doing it for your place within the
neighbourhood
hierarchy
mum,
of the
yeah.
neighborhood mums,
It's
not
very,
actually for the kid.
It's very Emily Gilmore.
I was like, the Gilmore Girls are totally not like that. But yes,
I think that's
the other
why I
Gilmore.
got this, because she's been kind of labelled a classic narcissistic mother.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
like reading this, I'm like, that's Emily Gilmore.
It's interesting. But the whole thing just screams troublesome, toxic.
Troublesome.
Troublesome mother. You're just not going to have a good relationship with your daughters by doing this, by forcing them to have
Yeah.
parties that they don't want to have.
You're just going to break their trust and make them not want to come to you.
Which has already happened because she went to their dad.
Yeah.
Let's see what other people have to say.
Let's do it.
And not the drama.
Puberty is an awkward, embarrassing time. Having your parents shine a spotlight on every confusing milestone would be a nightmare. Imagine a first pube party or a wet dream dinner.
Could you imagine a morning wood seance like this?
Why is it a seance?
Why wouldn't it be a seance?
Why wouldn't it?
You could have a lot of fun with this. I tell you what, there's things like this that keep Paper Chase and Smiggles in business.
Chase isn't in business. It's just
It's because not enough people
got
are
like
having first puberty.
paper chase has the end of an aisle in Tesco now. Like literally like
I used to love paper chase.
Oh,
That
me
made me
too.
so sad.
I used to do so much Christmas shopping there.
It's the coin. It's giving coin. It's people following the coin and forgetting the true meaning of what these celebrations are
The
supposed to
true
be.
meaning of
The
Christmas.
true meaning of Christmas, which is wicked. We got there. We're full circle.
I don't think I paid enough attention about what the party was about. Like my main focus was just on like the child's autonomy and
Yeah.
one parent listening to child, one not. But I do also get it of
Both
like
points are
you
important.
don't need to be ashamed of your period to not want the neighbourhood mums to know you've just started.
Or to
Like-
want to have a party. My head then goes to what if it is a cultural thing? I think in this
Hmm.
situation it's clearly not, right? Would we be seeing it differently if this was, for example, in a Jewish context, a child saying, don't want to have a bat mitzvah or a bar mitzvah? I feel like when there's a cultural element, there's almost like you're conditioned, right, to feel like it's something that you should want to celebrate. There's a bit
Yeah.
of an expectation, like a wedding. And still, it's up to you to decide whether you want that to be something very, very small, like a little
Yeah,
family dinner,
yeah.
or something very, very big, like a super sweet 16 party.
Yeah, I think kids are not given enough autonomy
Yeah.
in the world generally.
I also just think it's so bizarre to me in these contexts specifically, where you're like, we're celebrating this when the meaning of this is adulthood, right? It's independence. It's your own woman now. Yeah, I, my parent, I'm going to force you to be doing these things. The level of
Yeah.
hypocrisy blows my mind in these situations. And it just shows that there is just no good reason to be, like, you've totally lost a sense of why you're doing what you're doing. OP, please throw your wife a surprise menopause party. That's a really cool example, to be honest.
you should
Hormone imbalance.
daughters should run it.
Right?
The daughter should throw it. Oh my
Inviting
god.
only her friends, like the
Yeah.
daughter's friends, not the mum's people, and
Yay,
seeing how like
no more periods for you, mummy.
how out of touch that is.
I love
Ridiculous.
that suggestion. Not only are you not the drama, but you're a good gem for the way you stuck up for your daughter and communicated clearly even to the party goers. Chef's kiss. Yeah,
I totally agree. I cannot think of a better way that situation
Yeah.
could have been handled. I was just gonna say also, I thought GD meant goddamn gem, but you said good, and now I don't know if I'm being the boomer or if you are.
Oh.
Being a goddamn gem.
Yeah, I feel like you're right. I think you're right. I'm too millennial. For
Sorry.
that. I think it's been a while since we've had one that's so clear cut, not the drama, like at all, and somebody who's really just been such a good egg, despite
Yeah.
someone being a dick.
My band-aids are still in place. I'm feeling
not
like
been
I've got
ripped
my
off.
own Fortnite shield. Not the drama.
As an introvert, I hate being the centre of attention. I had an older sister, so I learned from her and my mum. I never heard of a period party. I really don't understand why people follow trends.
I think if there's a trend there that you want to do, great. If it's not harming people, if it's just a little bit of fun,
And if you don't buy a ton of shit for it,
where you're also just like genuinely enjoying the reason for the reason.
Yeah.
That's the personal niggle to me. I hate how people do gender reveals now, not because they're interested at all in the gender of the baby, but because it's this tick box exercise that puts them into debt that's only for Instagram, where they don't even have a good time because they're too busy worrying about the perfect picture. This is a cute comment from a peach, because this was a cross post onto the 1-800-drama subreddit.
a little fuzzy pesh. Oh, wow. Yeah, this guy's definitely not the drama. Oh my god, his wife is though. Massive moldy brownie badge to her.
Yes.
He's being a good dad by respecting his daughter's wishes and her privacy, making her aware of what's happening to her body and making it clear that there's nothing to be ashamed of. But just because it isn't shameful doesn't mean everyone wants to go around announcing it
This
to
was
people.
your point.
WTF to
Totally
the F
agree.
to the
Oh, and we have an update from OP.
An update.
So, after a few days, things around the house went back to normal. The wife called off, 12-year-old began to talking to her again, and they didn't appear to have any issues, except that the 12-year-old began coming to me more often about things instead of mum. Quelle surprise.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Wife obviously noticed, as they'd been very close before this, and was hurt but didn't say anything. I guess she figured that she deserved it. Finally, one day after I got back from taking the 12-year-old to school, my wife asked if the 12-year-old was still angry with her, and I said I didn't think so, and my wife just kind of deflated.
Oh.
She looked so miserable that I actually got worried, and I asked if she was still angry. The wife said no, then admittedly said that she'd f***ed up and gotten too into the concept of what others here have called menstruation celebration.
Menstruation celebration.
This is it. Do you know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
the ridiculous thing is, the idiot that came up with that slogan, menstruation celebration, was the brainchild of a CEO white
Probably a man, yeah.
who's a millionaire of Hallmark and has decided that this is the way that they can squeeze some additional money from the mothers of the internet. Oh, I've just turned into like some really cynical prick. But stick a tinfoil hat on me, it's where we
Get
are.
your cynicism on.
She said she'd been so focused on making sure the 12-year-old had a positive experience, she brushed aside her reluctance to take part. And in my wife's defense, the 12-year-old does regularly do this. She'll say she's looking forward to something, but if she pushes past her shyness and takes part, nearly always has a good time. So my wife thought that this was just another example of the 12-year-old doing that and didn't take it seriously. honestly.
Yeah, but it's a period party. It's a bit different to like going to Legoland.
Yeah. This is more than just try it for 5 minutes. If you're not having fun, go away. This is a period party with your friends. I actually think that's also a really big difference between that and like the bat mitzvahs that we're talking about. And my knowledge of this is only from movies, so keep that in mind. But Adam Sandler did a really good one. Do you remember?
Yeah.
What was it? You're so not invited to my bat mitzvah, I think
something
it was
like
called.
that.
It was actually really beautiful. I thought it was quite like sensitively done from my limited knowledge. But the big difference there is, that's what I'm saying, they want to do that and they want to have a good time, and it's with their peers who also see it as a celebratory moment. It's already this thing that you're grown up to like admire. This is not that. I don't understand why the mum's not seeing how weird the concept of this is.
Yeah.
The wife then said something which threw me for a loop. She asked me if I thought that the 12-year-old now hated her. I was stunned and automatically replied, of course not. She's just... And then I kind of trailed off because I didn't really know what to say. Upset was what I finally settled on. My wife was quiet, and then I asked why she'd been so insistent, since she hadn't tried to do this for the 19-year-old and there was no drama there. The 19-year-old got hers at 13 whilst they were just out shopping. It was handled before they even left the mall. She said that when the 19-year-old started, it was just such a busy day that they didn't have any time to think about it beyond, quick, let's go to the bathroom so I can help. And it wasn't until after that that the wife really thought about her own first, which basically consisted of her being told virtually nothing beforehand by an emotionally manipulative mother. They've been no contact for 15 years, barely being 12 when it happened, and once she did go to her mum, only being handed a box of pads and warned not to get pregnant. Nothing more was ever said about it between them. My wife had to learn nearly everything from a friend's mum. That woman is a piece of work. It's interesting. So maybe this is coming from the fact that she was like, no, I don't want you, kid, to have what I had.
Intergenerational trauma.
Intergenerational trauma.
There's a big leap though between your mum literally having no interest or care and then forcing a party upon you. It was definitely a massive overcompensation.
I think this is healthy reflection from the mum. I'm glad that they feel that they can have this conversation. I'm interested to see like how that bottom bit goes, but I do think it's trying to be put here, maybe even by OP in this situation, as an excuse.
Yeah.
And it's just one that I'm not buying, because like, fair enough if that's why you wanted to throw the party, but when your kid goes up the stairs and you're chasing after them, totally disrespecting their sense of autonomy and what they've already said to you so many times no, and you've had a dad saying don't do this, and you're excusing that by being like, you don't know, you don't have a period, none of that kind of links back to this. Do you see what I mean? Like, there's too many things there where you've really overstepped, and it feels like it's more than just this. I'd have bought it if you were just like, I got swept up in the moment, I held a party, I had a reputation to upkeep, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can have a shitty experience in the past and still be wrong in the present.
Yeah, wife was determined that she wouldn't behave like that towards a 12-year-old when it happened, but as events show, she basically went too far in the other direction. She then asked me what I thought she could do to fix this, and I told her the truth. The 12-year-old probably wasn't going to feel comfortable confiding in her again for a while, but if she really wanted to apologise, she should tell the 12-year-old what she just told me. I think that's a good idea, and to apologise properly. And so she did. My wife went to go and pick up the 12-year-old from school. When they got home, I saw that they'd both been crying, but also seemed happier. It turned out that I wasn't quite right, and the 12-year-old had still been harbouring some resentment towards wife for trying to push her into the pee-pee, but after hearing her story, the 12-year-old decided to forgive her, only asking that my wife, promised not to do something like this again. And 2 months later, this happened in May, things between them are now back to normal. Maybe not the most exciting resolution, but I don't think that the 12-year-old is going to hold a grudge over this, or that this has permanently damaged their relationship.
I'm glad it hasn't permanently damaged their relationship.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they had that conversation. I think that shows that
Real growth.
the mum...
Well done, mum.
Yeah. This update, whilst I agree with you about like, I don't buy the excuse, I see them as separate things, because I don't think the way she handled her older daughter getting a period was entirely different to how her mother handled it, and
There's
was
just too
perfectly
many loose
adequate.
ends,
Like,
that I'm just like a bit confused about. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
it was busy, so I didn't do it. I didn't host a period party for her because the day was busy.
I'd understand if she'd said, I handled it wrong with our 19-year-old. She said to me later that she felt like I didn't support her enough during that time, and so I pushed it the other way for our second kid, but that isn't the case. However, I'm glad that the mum didn't double down on it.
Yes.
And be like, look, I was just doing it for you. Why can't you should have just been happy. That shows like that this wasn't coming from like a purely selfish place, and
Absolutely.
she's acknowledging that she got swept up, and she can honestly admit that to her child and repair things. So I'm glad.
Yeah, overall, I just feel like this is a really beautiful example. It's quite healing. I don't think we've ever seen this on the podcast, like such fantastic sort of defending from one person throughout a story, and then afterwards that being fixed by someone being like, oh, I feel shit. How do I fix this? And then seeing that it has been fixed. I think that's a very beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I still maintain, and this is a huge assumption, but based on my experience and what I know of the world, I don't think the mum's being entirely honest. I don't think this whole thing was because of intergenerational trauma. I feel like that's definitely played a part, but I think reputation and this idea of menstruation celebration is perhaps playing a bigger part than even she is realizing.
Yeah, I think what I could see is like her past trauma impacting how much and easily she got swept up in this trend.
Yeah.
But it was definitely the trend that she fell for that was like the biggest biggest cause of harm.
Yeah. But how beautiful is it that like a relationship has been fixed and that honesty and healthy communication has gotten there?
Yes.
You bleed, baby. Am I the drama for avoiding my gay friend?
Depends on why.
I mean, is it because they're gay? If so, yes.
Yeah. Let me state from the start, I'm not a homophobe. Okay.
Heard.
Often said by homo. No, I'm joking. About me a bit. Mid-30s, I'm very laid back and low-key. I've been described as a mix of that turtle from Finding Nemo, and Uncle Iroh from ALAB.
What's ALAB?
What is ALAB?
Who's Uncle Iroh?
I have no idea.
A few moments later.
Oh, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh.
I don't know who that is, but I feel like in animation in particular, there you go, picture speaks 1,000 words.
Okay.
I get the vibes, especially when mixing with that turtle dude.
Turtle dude.
Crush. This is cool.
Right. So my friend of 6+ years came out publicly about a year ago, and ever since he has had a personality shift. I mean, he was always kind of confrontational, but now more so than ever. Also, he is way more energetic, almost to an annoying level. Kind of like that yappy hyper dog kind of energy. It's extremely draining.
Oh, I see. He's
Okay.
like, my friend is gay. This is the issue.
Do you know what
that
this
OP's
sounds to
having.
be like? Your friend has been masking and
Right?
hiding
Your
who
friend's
he
been
really
oppressed,
is.
and now he has confidence, and you're like, I don't like that.
I don't like
Stop.
I would love to just ask him if he could just chill a bit, but in the past he has taken any kind of criticism as a personal attack.
Kind of feel like it probably is.
Yeah, because imagine if somebody said, oh, I wish you were just a bit more like not laid back and just like passionate about things or whatever. I'm just basing it off of the turtle.
Imagine if you were like a rainbow, right? Like a bright, shining, giant, glaring ball of rainbow, and this entire time you've been hidden under a giant quilt. And ever so slowly, because of like really big steps that you've made, your little quilt is like letting things peek through. And the more you peek through when you're expecting to be celebrated for your purity and your love and your radiance, someone goes, nah, I preferred it when that quilt was on.
Yeah.
How would that make you feel?
It's a bit icky. It's like you've basically gone to a friend, you're a bit much.
Yeah, your true self is actually very frustrating. You're kind of chihuahua.
I want greyhound.
Give me whippet. Nervous energy only, please.
OP continues, I've just been avoiding him, and it's gotten around through people that I'm avoiding him because he is gay. Not the case.
I mean, but is it not the case?
It's kind of giving me mild, like,
Oh, I don't mind gay people when I can't tell they're gay.
but this, I think your friend has just realised that he can be himself, and maybe he's like an extra version of himself right now because
And
it's
it'll
just so
settle
freeing.
as well. Yeah, like you find out so much about yourself. I'm relating this, funnily enough, less about my LGBT plus experience and more about my experience with ADHD. They say like the neurospicy coming out. Everyone's constantly like, oh my god, and it's because of this. Oh my god, and it's because of this. Oh, and I do this. Oh, and I do that. Oh, have you noticed how forgetful I am? It almost comes out more because you recognize it more. So you're
Yeah.
like learning to embrace that. And then it does settle.
Yeah. And it's just, and of course, like, if after he comes out you start criticising his personality, people are going to make the assumption that it is because he's come out.
And the thing is, it might be that this is just who you are now. This new free version of yourself is this bright radiance rainbow, or maybe it's the case where you are trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's going to be a couple of shifts as you realise and have that freedom to explore who you are. But either way, you're being a bit of a shit friend, OP, in my opinion.
It just sounds like you're incompatible.
Yeah,
He's got
it
to be
might
allowed
just
to
be
be
that, like-
himself, and if you don't get on with his true self, then that isn't a friendship that's sustainable.
And that wouldn't be homophobic for you to
No.
walk away because you're like, sorry, I can't deal with the high energy version of yourself. I feel like we need some more explanations
Yeah.
as well. Let's read on, sorry.
I don't want him to think I'm a homophobe, but I can't stand the new high energy him. That is so mean. Oh, it's annoying. And I got my own stuff in my life that is draining enough, so am I the drama for avoiding my gay friend? P.S. He may have come out a year ago, but we all knew he was gay, loved and accepted that part of him then and still do now. It's just the energy. I mean, even the bartender at our usual bar, who is a gay man, said he needs to tone it down.
Does that change anything to you?
No, because I just feel like if his behaviour is problematic, as in if he is doing behaviours that are getting him and the people around him in trouble with others, and he's saying offensive things, or he's being really rude to people and he's hurting everybody's feelings, that is something to mention. If he is just high energy, extrovert, chatty, maybe a little bit controversial at times, I have met so many people like that in my life, and I just think you don't know how much damage it's going to do to somebody for you to just be like, you're a bit much. That's probably going to get internalized and may even push them the other way.
Yeah.
And I just think that this friendship seems incompatible, and I have a badge.
What's your badge?
You are the drama for avoiding. You need to have an open discussion about how it doesn't work for you as a friendship, or you need to get the over it.
I think my badge is also you are the drama, but I would say I think you just need to leave it be. You don't know how that sand is going to settle, and I think it's really unfair that you're also putting this on here, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're only seeing this from OP's point of view. There's 3 sides to every story, yours, theirs, and the truth, which normally lies somewhere in between. And the reality is you're basing this on the fact that he's gay.
Yeah.
That could also just not be the case. Also, people just generally grow and not always in the same direction. There are so many people that we have in our lives with this beautiful thing. I think I sent it to you.
The tree
about like
thing.
the leaves versus the branches versus the roots in our lives.
Yeah.
Maybe this person is a branch. They were in your life for a little while and now they're not. And that's okay because you guys are different because he's changed. But you don't blame that person for changing, for growing in a different direction to you. And you certainly don't blame it on their sexual orientation. That's what's weird to me.
Yeah, and you also, like, I do find it a bit weird for OP just to throw at the very end to be like, oh, and the bartender said that he's a bit much. Like, a stranger's not his friend. A stranger doesn't have any skin in the game.
Oh, there's a couple of updates
There
here
are a
as
couple
well.
updates. So, talked to my roommates who are also part of the group, and I'm going to go to the next art session group and after have a talk with him. They even said they will be around if I want them for support, but at this point, I'm not sure. Next art session is Tuesday, so I'll update sometime after that.
Thanks for the advice, my dudes.
My dudes.
I see you and your crush persona.
Okay, there is another update. I am in an Uber on my way home. Just had our first art group session.
Well, there you go. So this is the Tuesday after.
Right. I felt awkward and nervous, but the whole time he acted like nothing had happened, which was weird. After we all went to the bar, my roommate sat with us for support and I just kind of blurted out things. How I've been avoiding him because with the current stuff in my life, I just find him an overly draining personality and that I haven't been avoiding him because he is gay. He looked perplexed when I said this. My roommate brought up that he, the friend, had been telling people that I am a homophobe. I mean, I want to hear the other perspective because I can see how
Maybe
if
he
you...
is being homophobic.
I can see how if you come out to your friend openly and then they seem to start pulling away and making comments about your personality
And telling other people, oh my God, this guy's so annoying.
yeah, I can see where that assumption has come from. Honestly, you both just needed to talk to each other a lot sooner. He said, and I quote, oh yeah, I forgot I said that he was just peeved and gossiping with a few people. I was and still am seething angry. I stood up from the table and simply said, I'm done and walked out. I walked a few blocks and called an Uber and now I'm headed home. And I'm still seeing red. You just don't trash talk and destroy someone's name for the sake of gossip.
I mean, can I also just say, the way that you're feeling, OP, just put yourself in your friend's shoes. He's heard from somewhere that you've been homophobic. You've not done anything to address that. You've walked away. You've not said anything. And other people are also assuming that you're homophobic. And then you're sat there being like, oh my God, I can't believe you're talking to other people about it. You're trash talking about me. You're destroying my name, blah, blah, blah. That's exactly what you did with your friend.
Yeah, didn't you literally speak to a bartender about him? Like, didn't you literally gossip? And okay, fine, it could be seen as like less harmful gossip to say, oh, somebody's a bit much compared to saying somebody's a homophobe. I get why you'd be pissed about that. Oh yeah, I forgot I said that. Like just a throwaway of saying something that if you genuinely are not that thing, it's quite harmful to say it about you. That could be a defense mechanism though from him. It might not necessarily be that he actually forgot.
I'm calling bullshit on this too. Maybe I'm like just being too mean to the antagonists of the story in today's episodes. But it's this whole like, and it's gotten around through people that I'm avoiding him because he's gay. How does that get around? What are you doing to make people think that?
If you're going around clearly telling people, which it sounds like obviously has been happening, he's a
this
bit much,
person's annoying.
he's too loud,
So
he's
much.
annoying, I find his energy too high, and this coincides with him coming out as gay, people are going to take that as a, oh, you're not wanting to be friends with him because he's gay. OP carries on, I'll have a discussion with my roommates later when they get home and I have a more clear head, but I think this friendship has run its course. Thank you all for the advice. Honestly, it sounds like the friendship has run its course to me.
Do you think that anyone's the drama though? Like, it's not anybody's fault that friendships fall out when there's just an incompatibility because you've grown to be different people. But I still feel here that there's probably blame on both sides.
Yeah, it's hard because whenever we hear from OP, I always think we're hearing the version that puts the OP in the best light possible. So if even then I'm still like questioning, oh, I'm not sure. I know if I heard the other person's side, I'd be absolutely like, oh my God,
Yeah.
OP, awful. So I go down the middle.
I totally agree with you. And I also think that whilst we do need to take things on face value, when someone like this is saying it from their point of view, as you say, but it's also just being really vague about like what exactly has been said. I'm like, there's a reason you're not giving a lot of detail. And that might be because you're secretly feeling guilty about it, or you feel like putting that in there would paint you negatively. I'm trying to think like, how much do people really change when they come out? And we've obviously had a lot of LGBT plus friends who have come out since we've known them and who we've known before briefly, but now we know sort of better. And I just don't see people changing that much to the point where someone who wasn't a hyperdog, you know, like golden retriever energy energy is now golden retriever energy when they haven't been. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
I can definitely see people growing in confidence. I explain you, for example, in your transition journey as something that expanded your confidence 100-fold. And I maintain that, but you're still yourself. You're just a brighter version of yourself. So I find it hard to think that someone would be changing so much that they become a different person that would truly make someone go, you're so annoying now.
I do think sometimes it can take years to see behind take the glasses off about somebody, and you can see certain behaviors because you see different facets of them or something happens. And I also think the way that your friend sounds like he's maybe changed a bit is in a completely subjective way. It's not like something's happened and objectively you can now see that they're not a good person or they're toxic or it's unhealthy to stay friends with them.
You're so right.
What's happened is they've grown, become more confident in themselves, probably because they are now open about their sexuality, and subjectively you don't gel with that. And I do think that OP is the drama for not communicating that properly.
I'm with you. Maybe with like a small everybody sucks here.
Yeah.
That obviously it's not okay to be going around calling people homophobic if you
he's
haven't had
gossiping,
that conversation.
then that's
but I
not
also
okay.
think it's much harder for the person who thinks that someone else is being homophobic to go up to them and confront them about it than it is for you who's not a homophobe to be saying that. If someone thought I was homophobic, the very first thing that I'd be doing is being like, hey babe, I'm so sorry you thought that. This is not the case. Let's settle that right now. I'm so sorry that there was any part of you that thought that I might accommodate you in that way. That sucks. Oh, sorry, not accommodate you in that way. But the fact that you've not done that and you're like, I'm so annoyed that you have tarnished my reputation, just feels like a weird like grudge to hold on to.
Yeah, and I can see with the timing of you disliking his behaviour
Why you would come
he
across
might
that
think
way.
that you were homophobic.
I'm still not convinced, I'm not gonna lie.
I want to hear what other people have to say.
Yeah. I don't know why you refer to him as your friend when you don't like him or want to spend time with him. And I hope he's actually responded to this.
Love the dude to death, but like I said above, I'm going through my own stuff and this new high energy version is doubly draining on me. Why is this so draining?
Yeah,
I'm
why
so
is someone living their
confused.
best life, their unfettered, their liberally expressed life, a drain?
I mean, unless OP's ex-friend is very dramatic themselves, like
Like
one
in
of
a
those
toxic
people that
way.
always has. But that's not what's been said.
You are the drama.
Just talk to him. Avoiding him will only make tensions grow. Exactly.
Agreed.
Totally agree.
Not the drama.
The new him is unpleasant to deal with and he's not interested in being easy to get along with. Sometimes people grow apart slowly and sometimes fast. It happens.
It definitely does happen. I can't tell. Normally we can be really clear with what's happening in a situation. I can feel really good and like assertive, but I can't tell.
I just don't know how this commenter though can make an assumption that he's unpleasant to deal with and not interested in being easy to get along with. You're making an assumption about this person's character based on the very vague description
confrontational?
of somebody who's clearly not liking him right now.
Says he was always kind of a confrontational dude.
So he's
but
not
now more so
changed
than
that
ever.
much. So he's just gotten a bit more confrontational.
But also, like, you've loved him to death for 6 years, so
Yeah.
so much confusion. We have some clarification here. Someone actually asked, what do you mean by energetic? Someone else says, honestly sounds manic. I say that's someone with bipolar disorder. And someone else says, since OP said the energy is new since the past month, it sounds like he's manic to me too. And OP has said,
Oh, like he always had a bit of that stereotypical gay voice, but now it's amped up times 1,000. That sounds homophobic. That sounds homophobic. Oh, my friend's voice is too gay. Like, I'm sorry, that is what happens when people come out. His voice used to be...
what do you mean?
It's not uncommon for people who have more like a naturally feminine voice to put on a more masculine voice whilst they're in the closet.
Sure, I thought you were saying it's normal for people to get a gay voice.
No.
It come out as gay. I was like, what are you talking about?
I said it's normal that if people have been hiding, like...
Of course.
And not like stereotypical gay voice. Like, just even that phrasing. Ugh.
I actually think you bring up a hugely important point right there, though. That's so important because, as we're talking about, right, it's not like people change afterwards. What you've been seeing is them through a kaleidoscope this whole time. Now you're seeing the clear image. This is how they have always been. You just didn't get to know that. But it's a privilege. It's a vulnerability that they've let you into that now. So to shit on it feels especially harmful. And I don't think that's something that OP is grasping. It's not that they've changed now. It's they've always been hiding who they've been.
Yeah.
So maybe who you liked was a fake version of someone, and it's not their duty to keep that fakeness up because you prefer it better. Dude.
Yeah, dude. His voice used to be deeper than mine, and now it's super high pitched. That sounds homophobic. He is way more domineering in conversations.
Oh, confidence.
Talks all the time a mile a minute
Oh,
and jumps
excitement.
topics like he's severely ADHD. Also, all he talks about now is gossip and either people we know or celebrity. I know plenty of people like that. The last few times we all went out, he was bouncing around everywhere, leaving mid-conversation like a hyperactive, excited child. I I'm a bit introverted myself and I'm going through my own stuff, so this highly energy version of him is taxing and not fun to be around for me. No, your clarification has just made you look worse.
It's like me,
get
me,
in
me, me.
the bin. He's literally not doing anything wrong. He's more
just being
comfortable
his
talking in
comfortable
his voice.
self.
Maybe he does have ADHD and therefore you're just going, you're too much because you're neurospicy. And like, if you can't deal with him, I'm an introvert. I love having friends who are a whole mixture of people, and I really appreciate the friendships I have where people are very excitable and full of energy. I think it like lifts the group energy.
Can I for a second just point out introvert ADHD
Yeah.
right here? Also, one of our closest friends, Rolly. You are Dyson.
I am. Oh my god! Woo! Cyclone.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most full of beans people we have ever met.
Yeah.
That anyone could ever come across.
Yeah.
I would never think to say this. Could you? I'm going through some stuff right now. I'm really stressed. I'm having some family drama. Rolly, you're just too much for me. Could you imagine? And then making that sound like it's their problem to change themselves for my benefit.
Someone's actually replied to this comment going, so he's gay.
Okay.
And Opie's gone, nah, man, there are other gay people in this group of friends. Do you know, funnily enough, gay people are not a monolith. They are
They're not
different.
cookie cutters.
He's just super over the top, overstimulating. Like I said above, the bartender who works at the bar we all frequent, who himself is a gay man, said he needs to tone it down a bit.
What the does a bartender know? Why are you talking to a bartender?
You said you don't
about
like
this?
gossip, and you're gossiping to the bartender about your
Or
friend.
maybe it's not gossip, and maybe he's just
Sure.
acted some kind of way, and the bartender's just said that like out of the side. But like, you're in a bar under the influence of alcohol, and so you can't trust a bartender on giving a full profile of someone based on a bar experience. Is very bizarre.
And also, sometimes gay people can have internalized homophobia, and there's a lot of like, if your friend is quite femme or like very camp, very evidently gay, there are also gay men who will not like that,
Yeah.
and who will reject that. And that's
Actually, many of them
This
do.
really sounds like, to me, I have a gay friend who doesn't like his behaviour as well, which means it's fine and I'm not being homophobic. Well, your gay friend can have internalized homophobia that he's projecting onto this other gay man. Like, just because a gay guy agrees with you. And so this genuinely just sounds like you don't like the fact that your friend is a high energy golden retriever type who potentially has ADHD and is very evidently gay. I literally said that during the main post. I was like, what this feels like is this guy's going, oh, I don't mind gay people when they're not obviously gay.
Yeah.
But he's now too obviously gay and it makes me uncomfortable.
It does give, perhaps there's an unconscious bias
Yeah.
that you need to work through, OP, because maybe you are a little bit homophobic and you're not even realizing. Maybe society has put pressures on you that's made you feel like you're embarrassed to be around someone
Yeah.
who's so like freely expressing themselves.
Because nothing in OP's like clarification comment
Sounds
here
bad.
sounds
Or-
bad.
yeah.
I get that it's not going to gel with everybody, but sure, you need to have an open conversation with him about that and not bring it back to the fact that he's gay, and definitely not bring up the fact about his voice. That's what really gets me, that you think that his voice has anything to do with
He's got a gay voice and it's
What?
more gay now.
yeah, that what you can say is something you don't like about him. It just sounds like you don't work, but literally nothing in here should detract you from your own life stuff.
I also just find it so bizarre that like someone's gone through this monumental life change and they've said, hey, I'm coming out, and you've gone, God, that doesn't work for me. Like, it's just so bizarre to like, what main
I want
character
closeted
syndrome
you.
are you on
Yeah.
to feel like it's your place to not support this person in finding their identity and helping that turbulence settle down, and instead just being like, why aren't you behaving in the way that's best for me? Like,
Yeah.
it's so weird.
That's what it sounds like to me with the I'm going through my own stuff so I can't deal with his high energy. It doesn't actually sound like
That's a you problem.
his behavior actually impacts you dealing with it. It's your attitude towards his behavior that is
Yeah.
impacting you dealing with your own stuff.
Very that.
So get over it or walk away from the friendship.
This is making me think about one friend in particular that we have, who I won't name, but they're one of my closest friends. They're like so special to me, and they dealt with a lot of internalized homophobia. And I remember when we first met them so many years ago, they were such a different person to who they are now. They hated the idea of drag race. They hated the idea of anything like camp and clubby like that. They wouldn't go out and like physically touch, hold hands, embrace, hug, do anything that could even perceive them to be gay in any little way. And now, wow, they are so different. And I couldn't imagine seeing someone being happy and feeling anything other than pride. Do you see what I mean? But being like, you do you, queen. Like, that's amazing. I'm so glad that you can do that now. I'm so confused as to how OP can see someone go through that and experience that feeling. Like, even now, just talking about it, like, I feel like I'm having to hold back like positive tears of joy. I think I'm also on my period, and I'm not
You're
saying
definitely
that.
on your period.
No, I'm saying like, I think that's why, because I'm particularly hormonal.
Yeah.
It's making me feel additionally emotional about it. It is a beautiful moment moment, like, I'm so struggling to understand where on earth OP is coming from, because you just can't interpret that
because like
unless you're a dick.
This description, I can think of people in our life who would like gossip, who very excitable, who do interrupt sometimes, the conversation bops around, but you know what, it's fun. Like, why the are you getting your knickers in a twist, mate? Go away.
Even then, these people are still the same. So I mean, the person that I'm talking about, you could tell that they have those bits in them. They're just free with it now. You're not a different person, you're just yourself authentically. How can you have a problem with that?
I would push back on OP's analysis of who they are, because like Turtle Dude from Nemo would not be this.
No, he'd be like, go with the flow, bro. You are right.
You are not going with the flow. You are not being chill and laid back. You are getting overly stressed and overly inserting yourself into somebody else's behaviour.
Totally, dude.
Don't like it?
Swim away. All right, this final submission is from a fellow Peach. Thank you so much for using the subreddit. Hope we can help you out. Just a little reminder to anybody who wants to submit their own drama or help out other Peaches for the dramas that we can't get to, because there's way more on there than we can ever feature on this podcast. Please do feel free to go and check it out.
Do it. Tell my friend they're harming their dog. Now we're not speaking. Am I the drama?
Ooh. It's very, like, matter of fact. It's like, give it to me. All right, sure. Let's see if we can help you out. Hi, fellow Peaches. I'm Ray, 24. I recently ended up in a situation with someone that I'll call Red, 32. We were close for many months. I stayed over often, helped with cleaning, and I cared for their 11-year-old dog, Nemo. That's so funny because you're just talking about turtles. I grew to love their company and their dog. Over time, I noticed that Red regularly fed Nemo large amounts of human food. Seasoned meals, treats, even sweets.
Oh, like human sweets, like jelly babies and stuff.
Oh,
Don't know why I went to
I love that
jelly
your head
babies.
went to jelly babies. To be fair, mine went to jelly beans.
Oh,
so
jelly.
We're clearly jelly. I expressed concern multiple times, gently at first, since Nemo already has health issues. Red would usually dismiss or downplay it, saying that it made him happy and helped him eat. I empathise dearly with animals, and I felt obligated to speak up. One day I brought it up again, and Red snapped, saying that I was rude and that it wasn't my business. I apologised, but admitted that I felt like I was walking on eggshells. They responded that it wasn't walking on eggshells, it was just me being rude.
Okay.
This is hard. This is so hard. I can see why you're in a predicament. How long were you guys together?
Together?
I recently ended a situationship.
Friend.
Sorry, yeah, I think I totally misread that. Maybe it wasn't a romantic thing.
Yeah.
Which does entirely change the context. But I still wonder how long you guys have known each other for.
Yeah.
Because I do think that can make a difference. After that, I told them that I didn't feel comfortable coming over anymore. They never responded. And a few days later, they texted saying that I had shamed and guilted them without caring about their feelings. Oh, I'm trying to determine if I feel that's a red flag. I feel like if someone's called you out for something and you've turned around and gone, well, don't shame me, that's a bit problematic. Do you know what I mean?
It's very like, hey, friend, I think you're doing this somewhat damaging behaviour, and I just wanted to have an open conversation with you about it.
How dare you?
Oh my
That really
God,
hurts
you've
my
just
feelings.
shamed and guilted me. Go away.
That's giving me potential
Victimising.
manipulative vibes there.
Yeah.
I tried to explain my intent to express concern as a friend, but they doubled down, accusing me of being holier than thou, saying that I didn't actually care about them or Nemo. Oh, that's a problem for me too, because I'm like, if you didn't care, you wouldn't be saying anything.
Yeah.
I feel bad for OP, for Ray, because I feel like I've been in that position. And often the advice is, for a simple life, stay in your goddamn lane, babe. Just stay in your lane. But it's hard because what you're doing is wanting things to be better.
Yeah.
And it hurts when you seem to care more about that than other people seem to care.
It's also really frustrating when you're just trying to like tell somebody, I think you're doing something a bit wrong.
Just
Regardless
doing
of
the
how
next
you
right
say
thing.
it, whether you say it like softly or you're quite blunt about it, you're just telling them you're not doing something that's okay.
Yeah.
And their response is like, I get it, some people can get initially defensive, but if like after time their response is like actually to just throw that back at you and be like, you've made me feel bad. And it's like, I was just telling you were doing something wrong.
Right?
If
It
you
would have
feel
been
bad
easier
about
for
that.
me. But yeah, that's a you problem. It would have been so
Yeah.
much easier for me to have just walked away and not said anything. The fact that I'm saying something is me investing time in the fact that I care about helping you grow.
Yeah.
I told them it felt like projecting and that our disagreement on dog care made me too anxious to be around. They replied that I should just volunteer at an animal shelter instead of stirring up drama.
Weird.
So
That's
bizarre.
so weird.
Like, put this on anything else. Sorry, don't tell me that I can't swing my child off of a balcony. Go work at an orphanage.
That's because of Rolly's video, isn't it? Yeah. It's like if you were really close friends with someone who had a child who everybody knew was like lactose intolerant, but they kept giving them lactose and it made them unwell. And you just said, hey, I don't think you should give Bobina, that was the first name that came to mind.
Bobina, the lactose intolerant squish.
I don't think you should give them milk because it's making them unwell. And they've gone, oh, you've just guilted me into it. Why don't you go volunteer at an orphanage kind of vibe? Yeah, why don't you go volunteer at like a children's house?
Keith
It's
has
like,
the shits. You feeding Keith pizza is not helping. How dare you shame me?
There are some little bits and pieces of human food that it's okay to give to your pets, but if you're feeding your dog sweeties, that's not okay.
The word sweeties just sounds wrong to me. It's just not a correct word. You can't say sweeties. That's worse than panties. I say panties, but sweeties. That has been the most offensive thing about this whole episode, is you saying sweeties.
Hello, sweetie.
Outside of the context of Doctor Who, it is not okay. Don't do it. Don't do it. He's gonna do it.
Sweeties. I
Where
won't
are
say
we?
sweeties if you don't say panties.
Panties. I'll admit, says Ray, I sometimes struggle with giving unsolicited advice.
You do.
And I'm actively working on that. See you, Queen. But I don't think that this was one of those times, or at least not the heart of the issue. We both dug our heels in. I miss them deeply. We shared great moments and I still care about them, even if they don't know how much. But the relationship wasn't healthy. There were past issues too. Miscommunications where they refused, breaks in conflict, and criticised me for getting emotional. We work in the same field, so we'll probably cross paths again. I wish we could at least agree to disagree and be cordial, but I'm not sure that they're emotionally capable of that. Am I the drama for telling my friend that their care for their pet made me uncomfortable and then ending the friendship over it?
No, not the drama. It doesn't sound like to me that you ended the friendship over the fact that you made your friend feel uncomfortable because you called out the care of their pet. No. You ended it because telling them that piece of information, their reaction showed you a side of them that you don't get on with.
And when
that's
somebody
fair.
shows you who they are,
listen.
Listen. I do think, especially when it's something like this, like there are things that are trivial that we can be like, okay, some people don't like K-pop demon hunters, and whilst I know that they are wrong, we can still be friends. But when it comes to things like duty of care, when it comes to things like core social values, we need to be mindful. And there are some things that we can't just agree to disagree on. I actually hate how much that phrase is being used right now. Why can't we just agree to disagree with the uber conservatives?
Gross.
Because they're advocating to end our lives, babe. That's why. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is literally endangering lives.
Yeah.
And that is a problem that you should be calling out. Because the thing is, the dog can't.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
You have a duty of care as a friend. I don't think this is a situation, you're right, where you're like, I'm overstepping. If something bad is happening, you should say something. I had flowers in the house recently that I didn't realise was toxic for cats. I was given it as a gift. A friend of mine reached out and was just like, oh, super toxic. And I felt bad. And initially, I kind of felt like defensive, but I was like, well, where the hell is that coming from? They've just saved my little kitty's glands.
No.
Thank you for letting me know.
Thanks for letting me know. I'm going to get rid of the flowers now.
Yeah.
Done. It's as if you would have said that to your friend and they went, well, I'm keeping the flowers. I think it's fine. Don't tell me what to do with my pet. And it's like, mate, you're just doing something dangerous. Yeah. There's actually an edit about what their friend fed the dog.
We should take a look at that. My thinking as well was also in terms of like interior design. There are some friends' houses where I can go in and they can be like, this is what I'm going to do. And I can be like, interesting choice. And I won't say it because that's not your place to step in. But when it's putting something in harm's way that ultimately will make your friend sad as well. Like forgetting the fact that this is a dog and this is a life that you want to care for, right? Your friend's going to be sad if they lose their pet.
Yeah.
They don't want to be harming their pet.
Yeah, and especially
So
like
something.
a senior dog as well.
Yeah. So what is it that they're doing?
So they said, edit, they cooked all the time and gave him their leftovers, so quite a bit more than a morsel. Meals with onions and garlic.
Well, where animals are
curry,
super toxic for dogs.
curry, pot roast, chili cheese fries, 2 to 3 slices of French toast, his own side of teriyaki chicken from Panda Express.
Whoa. The dog
is eating all
his
this.
own side of teriyaki chicken from Panda Express.
Yeah. If they made eggs and bacon and they put seasoning on it, they'd end up giving him like 4 strips and 2 eggs. He had the worst breath of any dog's breath I've ever smelled, meaning his teeth are most likely rotting. He's a medium-sized small dog.
Oh,
I mean,
no,
like,
that is damaging. That's harmful.
You can't. It's like if I knew someone where their pet was like really, really like overweight, I would be like, I'm not sure if you should be feeding your pet that much.
Put it to a different form of abuse. What if your friend was actively kicking their dog openly in front of you? That would suck. You would speak out. You'd be like, don't do that.
Yeah.
You would call an authority body, and that authority body would forcefully remove that pet from that person's duty of care. This is no different.
Yeah, that dog is going to have a much better quality of life
If
being
you speak
fed
about
appropriate
it,
food.
and if the owner knows to not do that anymore, if Red changes their ways.
I would have said something to a close friend if they fed their dog this.
Same.
Yeah. Should we see what other people were saying?
Yeah. What do the peaches have to say? Not the drama.
So many different types of human food can make a dog really sick, cause all sorts of different health issues, or even cause death.
Yeah, there's posts that go around, particularly around this time, Christmas time, being like, be careful what we feed our dogs and cats, because there's like a lot of treats going around at Christmas. Raisins and grapes are a massive one that people often don't know about. Chocolate alliums, so garlic, onions, spring onions, not okay for a dog, and the basis of a lot of foods. One of the things that I found out recently, they're not okay for dogs and cats. Nuts. Did you know that?
There's a reason why there's pet-specific food and we don't just like share our meals with our pets.
Despite how much Apollo may wish for us to.
Oh, Apollo will literally sit there looking adorable and then just really slowly start to stretch his paw out and you have to be like, no. And then he's like...
Or sometimes he'll put it on you, he'll go for your plate, and then you say no, and he's like... Not the drama, but just shut up. Oh, no one wants unasked for advice.
There's a difference between seeing somebody do something harmful and then stepping in. Like you said, if you disagree with the colour that someone's painted their bathroom, just if you don't like it, stay quiet and say it's lovely because they love it.
Oh, well, you don't need to say it's lovely. You can just be like, those corners are so neat. Do you love it?
I'm also not thinking of anyone in particular, by the way.
Yeah,
just
same.
for any friends watching this. And this would go if the friend had been like really like blunt about an interior design choice like you mentioned, or like clothing style, but because OP's friend is actually doing something that harms another being, it's not unasked for advice. That's being a good friend. That's being supportive.
I also think, I say this with all of my chest, but there are a few people who are very vocal about disagreeing with me on this channel. There is a difference between setting a boundary and giving an ultimatum. There can be such a tiny nuance in it, but there is a big difference between saying, I don't want you to be friends with that person anymore, versus I can't deal with you being friends with that person anymore, so I'm going to step away. I feel like what Ray is saying here is I can't deal with seeing a pet be treated in a way that I think is harming them.
And
it's
is objectively
making me
harmful.
feel so troubled. I'm removing myself from the situation. That was
Yeah.
coming from a position of laying your boundary down. I just think you're doing
Yeah.
the right thing. I don't agree with this comment.
Me neither. I think you did the difficult thing that so many people don't do.
Yeah, but doing what they said, shutting up and not giving advice would be the easier choice.
Yeah.
A man ruining relationships over unsolicited advice and then crying about it. You are the drama, mind your own business. I don't think that's very fair at all. I think that's quite a shit little comment, actually, and I'm sad that that came from the Peach Forum. Ray,
Yeah.
don't listen.
I so hard to disagree with that. I think that was really mean. Geez, I have no idea why the comments are so cruel to you. Yeah, not the drama. Maybe you pushed it a little far, but I wouldn't be comfortable endorsing animal abuse. Also, your friend's reaction says a lot. I think you are better off, and I do hope the poor dog isn't in too much pain. Yeah.
Totally agree. I wish you the best of luck, Ray. Hugs to you, hugs to the puppa.
Puppa. When you call dogs Puppa, that's like sweeties.
A puppa.
Has the same vibe.
Drama. Whew. I feel like today was a heavy one.
Yeah.
It was complex.
Lots of conversation.
It was stress, you know?
People sticking up for what's right and getting pew-pewed.
Or people calling other people gay.
Yeah.
When they are gay.
I'm not homophobic, but his voice is just too gay now.
I'm not homophobic, but he's so gay.
Yeah. He's too gay. I have other gay friends, but they're not obviously gay, so that's why I can be friends with them.
Right?
Duh.
Like the gay ones. Ugh.
But I'm not homophobic.
They're also sweeties. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. If you haven't already, please do click that little button.
Go on. And if you're listening over on a podcast platform, please do give us a little rating because it really helps out.
It does. We'll catch you in the next episode. For now, be kind
Much love.
and have a great day. Bye.
Bye.